Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mayday Media, where we're pointing out a few articles on the internet. I've got three of them here that are pretty good stories. I think are pretty important. We're going to get into them, talk about them. Um, the reason why I think some of these are important is because of what they involve, and the information in them is important too. If you like this kind of information, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, help me out a little bit here. First we're going to go over is the Iranian attack expected on Israel in the next 2 days. Israel is preparing for an imminent direct attack from Iran. Tehran yet to decide, says person briefed on the matter. Now this whole story is some person, somebody. We know how this goes. We hear this quite a bit. But don't forget, Israel did bomb Damascus, or a embassy in Damascus. Israel breaks so many rules of war as far as globally goes, and they're never really called out for it, and eventually they get bombed back or hit back, and everybody's just supposed to feel sorry for God's chosen people who's picking on everybody and starting this crap. And hopefully people will kind of start to figure that out one day. Israel is preparing for a direct attack from Iran on the southern and northern Israel soon as Friday or Saturday, according to a person familiar with the matter. A person briefed by the Iranian leadership. Doesn't say who. There's nothing. Earlier this week, U.S. intelligence showed that attack on Israeli assets by Iran or its proxies could be imminent. Well, yeah, when you bomb their fucking embassy and then you don't really even report it. On Thursday, the American embassy in Israel said U.S. government employees and family members would be restricted from any personal travel outside of central Israel. Now, down here, okay, it says that the scenario under consideration include a direct attack on Israel with sophisticated medium-range missiles, he said. Now, this is the leader of Iran's Revolutionary Guard contacted the country's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, with several options to strike Israeli interests, said an advisor to the paramilitary forces. Okay. So they contacted the Ayatollah with several options to strike Israeli interests. Scenarios under consideration include a direct attack on Israel with sophisticated medium-range missiles. In recent hours, social media accounts close to the Revolutionary Guard have posted videos showing simulated missile attacks on Israel's Haifa airport and its nuclear facility in Dimona. Yeah, but are those really Iran's, or is that the fake AI U.S. stuff? Khamenei has not yet decided on the plans. He is concerned a direct attack could backfire with projectiles being intercepted in Israel, responding with massive retaliation. Yeah, and that's exactly what will happen because they have our equipment. The international community has been scrambling to avoid an escalation. On Thursday, Baerbock and David Cameron, respectively, of the foreign ministers of Germany and UK, both called the Iranian counterpart Hussein Emir Abdullahian to ask Tehran not to attack Israel. According to British and Iranian officials, calls have been made by several regional and European ministers to Iran's foreign minister. The spokesperson for Iran missions at the United Nations told the Wall Street Journal. Again, this is the Wall Street Journal. Take it with a grain of salt. But, I mean, something's going to happen. I mean, you just attack somebody, and I mean, think if that was us. I mean, you would be obliterated 2 hours later. Russian military trainers' weapons arrive in Niger Republic. Now, this is a big story here. Niger is in the center of northern Africa. That's kind of a big step, and it's a big foot in the door, and they're right in the center. It's going to be hard to get you out. See what I'm saying? From here, you can just really expand out in all directions. Very sharp. According to Niger state television, RTN military instructors and personnel from Russia's defense ministry arrived in Niger on Wednesday, highlighting a deepening of ties between the West African nation and Moscow, mirroring its junta-led neighbors. Well, it looks more north to me, but whatever. In a Thursday broadcast, RTN aired footage featuring a military cargo plane unloading equipment with military personnel observing the scene. The report highlighted that this development came after a recent agreement between Niger's junta and Russia President Vladimir Putin intended to enhance cooperation. A man in camouflage uniform identified as one of the instructors said, "We are here to train Nigerian army and to develop military cooperation between Russia and Niger." The deployment of Russian instructors ensued after Niger's mid-March decision to annul its military agreement with the United States, which permitted Pentagon personnel to conduct operations from 2 bases, including a drone base built at a cost exceeding $100 million. Following this, the Pentagon disclosed that U.S. had expressed concerns to Niger regarding its potential alignment with Russia before the junta terminated the agreement overseeing approximately 1,000 U.S. military personnel into the country. So we're setting up drone bases, drone plants, and a lot more will be coming. Unfortunately, there's all kinds of white genocide that goes on over there for Russia. If they don't know this yet, if you're Russian, I'd probably pay attention. I sure wouldn't have my women over there, that's for sure. Russian plant producing BMP-3 and BMD-4 IFVs face risk of submersion. So here's what they're building right here. And I guess this plant is on a low ground. Now this is something that you would think you would take into consideration when building one of these things. Flooding. You know what I mean? I personally, I would build on high ground maybe. I don't know. But this is what happens, I guess, when you're not thinking things through or you don't have anything better. Concerns have heightened as prolonged flooding continues in the border regions of Russia and Kazakhstan, resulting from an unforeseen release of nearby reservoirs. Kurgan, in a city in Russia, is likely to force a substantial part of its projected deluge due to its closeness to the Tobo River. Now it floods. This ain't flooding season yet. It's getting there, so that's what they're worried about. Even with the peak of the flood yet to arrive, preemptive evacuation protocols have been implemented in the areas anticipating it to be in the direct line of flood, with the possibility of extensive water spread if levels persist in rising. The assessments are grounded on official statistics furnished by the city administrations. The maps ensued by local administrations delineate whatever areas at risk, brightly marked in yellow and red based on the potential water levels of 7 to 9 meters respectively, corresponding lines representing different predictions that engage as water levels escalate to 11 to 14 meters. Shit, that's like, what is that, is that 30 foot? There's no way that could be 30 foot. According to the Ukrainian sources, a facility that holds a significant position is in context, and whatever, the establishment prides itself on being only manufacturer of new combat vehicles for infantry and landing forces in Russia. The production line here includes all the BMP and BMD units in addition to the modernization of the BMP-2. The other armored vehicles such as the BTR and the Octopus are also produced here. Flooding forecast pinpoints in the location as being within 11 to 12 meter mark. Even within Russia, precise predictions about the flood levels in Kurgan are withheld, providing only vague indications of above 11 meters or a range between 9 and 14 meters. There's the BP-3. About Kurgan's plant, originally established in the 50s as a repair station for returning frontline tanks, the factory now holds a prominent role in the production of Russian military and specialized equipment. Yeah, that's about it. There's some more of the stuff it produces. So it's a big contender. It puts out a lot of equipment for them. And it looks like it's getting ready to flood. Now, if you read here, as prolonged flooding continues in the border regions of Russia and Kazakhstan, the unforeseen release of nearby reservoirs, so they're already in unusual flooding, already having to try to do some stuff, and they're not even in the big time season yet. So it's looking not smart for them, not good for them, but well, time will tell. I think that you'll hear more about this one. I think you'll hear a lot more about this Russian military coming into Niger. That'll probably be a big talking point with somebody. And this one again, like I said, take it as a grain of salt. Whoever said this, because again, it doesn't say who, like usual. But with the attack on that embassy, something's bound to happen. And I think they should just fight it out, whatever. I ain't taking sides. I don't really give a shit about either place. Anyway, toodaloo.